Okay guys, kind of a cool day for us today. We already tipped this off if you follow us on Instagram and you got to check out the live we did, but we just picked up a new vehicle for the fleet. We're going to be working on and doing some cool videos about. If you guys have followed us for a while, you probably know we have a big soft spot for a certain car company from England. And we found a deal, and I saw it, sent it to James and was just like, I don't know, this seems good. And we've just gotten back with it. We did end up buying it, and as you can see, we got the reliable F-250 here. We just unloaded it off the trailer. So without further ado, let us introduce the car. Look at this. Just kidding. No, this is mine. Actually, I was just messing with you guys, but this. So some of you are already yelling at your screens right now. So this is a 1996 XJS convertible. 96 is the last year of these, and this one is a relatively high spec. It's got the cool wheels, and of course our favorite color combination. So we're going to give you a little bit of a tour of the car. But we're actually going to just take it around the block real quick, see if it shifts up and down through the gears and everything. And after that, we will probably do a little bit of a story time and give you the story of how we found it and how the purchase went and everything like that. All right, everyone. So we have a new addition to the low-tech collection today. We just got done bringing it back and basically kind of just giving it a preliminary check over. But we want to share a video and give you kind of an intro and a walk around of the new car. So if you guys follow us on Instagram or Patreon, you will have already had a sneak preview of this vehicle because we do tend to release content a little bit earlier on those. Instagram, sometimes you'll see us go live, things like that. Patreon, you'll tend to have some little bits and pieces you can't get anywhere else on there as well, which is kind of fun. So do consider joining us over on those platforms as well if you haven't already. And anyone that has, we greatly appreciate it. So without further ado, we are going to jump into what our new vehicle is and run you through what it's all about. And here it is, the new addition to our collection. This is a 1996 Jaguar XJS, and it was actually kind of a cool find. It was in a storage unit hidden away for a couple years, pretty much untouched, just occasionally started, but not really driven or, didn't really get to see the roads at all. And we just rescued it and are planning on going through and doing kind of a restoration and refurbishment of the vehicle to get it as nice as we possibly can. And this specific one is quite a cool model, so we'll run you through the bits and pieces that we know about this car already, and what makes it special. So this, being a 1996, is the final year of the XJS. This one is a 4-liter straight 6 model, and basically it's what they call the Celebration Edition, which is kind of their final send-off. It was kind of the best of everything, that was available all in one package. This one appears to be pretty high spec. It's got the desirable wheels. It does have our favorite color combo of the British Racing Green with the tan interior, which is in really good shape. A little bit grubby, and you know, it's just in need of a clean, but the closer we've looked, it just seems like really just some surface dirt, and everything should just brighten back up. All the wood, the plastics, the leather are all in really good condition. And it even has the car phone, which I've talked about in some of our other videos. I've always loved these things. All right. So for once, we actually have a bit of a plan as to what we're doing with this vehicle. You know, some of our other ones have just been, you know, vehicles that we've already had in the family, we've already started working on, so some of them you guys have kind of come into halfway through when we started this channel. This will be our first, you know, purchase just for the channel, where we are going to show everything and we actually have a cohesive plan. So if you haven't subscribed, please do, because you're going to see a lot of cool content on this car as we start to go through and address some of the little problems it has. We are also going to release a buyer's guide for the XJS. Our XJR buyer's guide, if you haven't checked that out, was extremely popular and you know, pretty informative as well, so we're hoping to offer the same with this as well. The you know, the refurbishments that we're talking about are going to be cosmetic, mechanical, you know, and really kind of cover all the major bases. So if you own one of these or are interested in owning one of these and are a little nervous about working on it, follow along, because we're going to show a lot of the major issues that, you know, I say major, a lot of the issues that you could potentially come across when owning one of these vehicles and how to address them. And like all of our other videos, we're going to try and make it to where it's not scary. You can definitely do it yourself, and you know, you'll see that it's pretty easy to live with something, even if it is old and British. So here is the engine bay, and really it just looks like it's a little bit grubby more than anything. The car kind of starts and runs fine. You know, really mostly it just looks like road dirt. We've talked about probably refinishing some of the top covers and stuff like that to make them really just look like new. And then really just do a thorough cleaning in the engine bay to try and make this thing just look like kind of as close to factory fresh as we possibly can. But this engine is silky smooth. I mean, it just runs so nice. And it's just a great power plant. I mean, this has been, I think this is a third generation, if I'm correct, of this 6-cylinder. And it is just an absolute beast. They will run for a long time, and they're really, really well sorted out. So when we first found the car, it was listed as a non-runner. Basically, it was not starting, and you know, there was a small amount of information about it. Honestly, there was not a ton in the listing. There were no pictures, and it was just kind of, you know, somewhat, I'll say, like, kind of vague. And in the end, we just, you know, decided we've always known we liked these. We had been looking at them for a while, and you know, we reached out, got some more information about the car, and you know, got some pictures of it, got a little bit more info, and decided, okay, it's worth us looking at it. So once we had taken care of that, you know, we got to the storage unit where it was being kept, and looked over the car, you know, got a good idea for its physical condition at least. And basically, you know, once we were satisfied with that, we were like, well, hey, you know what, let's see if we can, you know, see how it behaves with some power to it, because the battery was completely stone dead. I mean, you know, just didn't even react when you put the key in, nothing, right? So we connected up some jumper cables and another battery to the car, and it woke up. All the lights and instrumentation and everything came on. Went to start it, but it just wouldn't start. It was just clicking. And you know, we were like, okay, you know what, at least it's not horribly broken. You know, I mean, these are all at least resolvable issues in our mind, so that made us feel relatively confident that it was something we could work on. So we decided that we were going to go ahead. We made the deal, and basically we kind of decided, all right, well, let's get this thing loaded up on the trailer. So we had already put the battery back in the truck, and we were getting ready to throw it in neutral and push it out of the storage unit, when we realized that you cannot shift these into neutral without the battery. I guess the shift lock is related to the power. It's not a manual one that you can kind of put a key in or anything like that. So we brought the battery back from the truck, and this time we actually didn't have the jumper cables available, so we connected it up all the way to the actual battery connections in the trunk, as though we were installing it in the car. And So we were like, all right, let's get this thing going. I actually went to throw it in neutral and thought, you know what, I should just check and see see if this thing cranks. Why not, right? What's the harm? So I bumped the key and it fired right up. I mean, this thing just woke up, started, idled, behaved, and none of us were expecting that. I mean, again, we all thought it was gonna, turn over but not start, and maybe had some sort of fuel or spark issue or something like that. But nope, it's a perfect running car, and it just, whatever happened, even though the guy had put a new battery in it, we think maybe the battery is just bad or something like that, but it was just running great. So we were literally able to drive it out of the storage unit, drive it up onto the trailer, and basically, that saved us a ton of hassle, and I mean, obviously we were completely thrilled. It's way better to have a car that's running and driving that you're working on than one that you're trying to, focus on getting it to wake up in the first place. So that was a huge win right out of the gate. So obviously we've got the warm and fuzzies for this car already, just for that alone. So, when we first got the car, we just did a, preliminary once-over and found a couple things that need to be addressed on it, which is to be expected. And we are, like I said, going to be doing a full series on this, and we'll have individual videos for each of these topics that we're going through. But right out of the gate, the tires on this thing are extremely old. It appears that they are from 2007. So we are going to get a new set of tires on order right away so that this thing is actually roadworthy. The body appears to have some, mild dents and dings. The paint is not perfect, but is actually pretty clean throughout. There's just a couple areas that need treated, some buffing and, just a little bit of help. But we genuinely think this thing's going to come back to be potentially near perfect condition paint, which is awesome because really it's not common that we come across a car that has, the ability to do that. The top is actually in extremely good condition. The actual canvas and the headliner are amazing. We do need to tinker on the top a little bit to get it to actually function, and we will do a video on kind of servicing that and how to get it all working again as well. And really those, I think, are the major points. I mean, we're going to change all the fluids, flush the cooling system, stuff like that, just really do a thorough mechanical service of this thing just to make sure it's absolutely perfect. And like I said, I mean, everything else will pretty much just be cosmetic, we think. I mean, just to really get it as close to perfect as possible. So actually, as I walk up here, I remember one more thing. Yeah, we do have the glass for this mirror. It was taped on when we bought the car, and it appears that the plastic on the mirror part itself had broken. So we're going to be sourcing a new one of those so that it mounts properly and moves as it should. And as you can probably tell by the connections, this thing even has heated mirrors, which is kind of cool. So yeah, I mean, all in all, we have already been extremely thrilled with this as a find. I mean, it's just an absolute gem. And I couldn't be happier. It was very lucky to find one in the condition that this is in. And if you've watched this far, that means you probably like our content. So, again, I mentioned it earlier, if you haven't subscribed to our channel, I would definitely suggest doing that. We try and put out cool content every week, especially if you're a Jag fan. We've been doing a lot on that. We do have the classic cars, we've got the trucks, but, it's really been helping grow our channel. We've been so blown away with all the support. The number of subscribers that have been joining, the comments have been fantastic. So again, we really want to convey the message that we love everyone that joins the channel, and truly, if you are subscribed, consider hitting the notification button, because that'll also let you know every time a video comes out, so you can see it and go, hey, that looks good, So if you haven't, maybe consider trying that. That would be great. So yeah, wrapping up the video, we got a lot of cool content to come on this car. And we're really hoping for this to be kind of one of the best ones yet. We're going to try and make it as structured as possible, to where, we actually have a roadmap of what we're doing with this, and try and be, as professional as we can about it. So we greatly appreciate all your support as always, and we will see you on the next one.